The Whispering Tree Part 2. The rain had stopped, but the silence it left behind was louder than thunder. Ngozi hadn't stepped out of the compound in 2 days, not since the night of the funeral, not since the whisper. Her grandmother's grave sat still and damp beneath the whispering tree, a crooked giant that seemed to grow more twisted each day. The family used to joke that it leaned because grandmother yelled too much, but now no one was laughing. Ngozi stared from her window. The tree was staring back. That evening, Ngozi heard footsteps, not on the road, not in the bush, on the veranda. She crept out of her room and froze. There, in the sand, were bare footprints, small, as if made by a child, but deep, heavy, wrong. They led away from the house to the tree and stopped there. The next morning, Ngozi returned to the grave. She didn't know why. Maybe to prove she wasn't afraid. Maybe to check if the whispers were real. The tree's bark looked darker, wet, even though the sun was out. When she touched it, it felt alive. Not wood, something else, something pulsing. She leaned in. That was when she saw it. A faint line carved into the trunk. She brushed away some moss and the bark peeled open. Behind it were teeth, real ones, and one of them had a gold cap, just like the one her grandmother had. Ngozi stumbled back. Her stomach turned, but the whisper came again. This time, it wasn't the wind. It was a voice, her mother's voice. You left me with her, and now I rot beside her. Ngozi dropped to her knees. Her head throbbed, her vision blurred. The roots of the tree shifted beneath her like something was crawling under the soil. She ran. That night, Ngozi dug through her mother's belongings. There it was, her hand mirror, the one she never left the house without. Ngozi held it up to her face, just her reflection. But when she turned it toward the tree, through her window, no branches, no bark, just a mass of bones rotting beneath the surface, and a single skull with blood-red gums, smiling. She couldn't sleep. By midnight, Ngozi was out with a machete and her flashlight. She stood before the grave, in front of the whispering tree. With every swing of the machete, the ground groaned, not like soil, but like something buried alive. She dug until her hands blistered, until her knees bled. Then metal, a box, wrapped in red thread. She caught it. The wind screamed and the tree exhaled. Inside were a braid of black hair, a blood-stained ring, a bundle of clothes soaked with something thick and dark, and inside that cloth a human heart, still beating. Ngozi couldn't scream. Her voice was gone. From behind her, voices, not loud, not sharp, just a low hum like prayer. She turned. A line of figures stood in the fog, tall, thin, faces hollow. Red cloth draped over their shoulders, eyes glowing faintly like dying embers. They spoke as one. She broke the promise. You opened the box. You will feed the tree next. Ngozi dropped the box. The heart inside began to burn on its own. She turned to run, but the roots had already begun to rise. The soil paused, the teeth in the bark moved, and behind her the whisper grew louder. We remember, and we are hungry.